In many rural regions of Africa, farmers aren't just battling drought, pests, or rising fertilizer costs, they're also facing a terrifying threat from the wild giant Nile crocodiles. These massive reptiles not only kill livestock but also claim hundreds of human lives each year, contaminate water sources, disrupt agricultural production, and haunt entire communities living along the riverbanks. With such looming dangers, controlled hunting to limit their numbers becomes absolutely essential. That's why today, we're setting out on a crocodile hunt right here. Stay tuned to see how it all unfolds. According to statistics, over 200 people lose their lives each year to Nile crocodiles. Hundreds of livestock, especially cattle and goats, the most valuable assets of many farmers, are dragged into the water during each dry season. In addition, entire fields are abandoned as farmers no longer dare to irrigate near the riverbanks. The economic damage is estimated to reach millions of dollars annually in the most directly affected areas. That's why, in regions with human settlements, removing these dangerous crocodiles is a necessary measure to ensure the safety of the community. As soon as we received reports from local villagers about a giant Nile crocodile appearing near a sandbar, a place where people usually graze cattle and irrigate crops, our hunting team immediately set out. We decided to set a trap to capture the intruder. To successfully catch a crocodile, we usually choose spots near the water's edge, areas where crocodiles come to bask or where clear signs of movement appear, such as slide marks, large footprints, or muddy water. The most commonly used trap is a large, heavy-duty steel cage, built with a reinforced metal frame strong enough to withstand the crocodile's power. The trap is fitted with a self-locking door that snaps shut the moment the crocodile steps inside and touches the bait. Sure enough, after just one night, the trap proved effective. A massive crocodile was caught. Its deep growls echoed from inside the steel cage, sending chills down our spines. That's why, during inspections, at least 2 to 3 people are required, fully equipped with weapons like firearms, long poles, or protective gear, because a crocodile can lash out and attack at any moment if it hasn't been fully subdued. Although traps are an effective method, they're not always feasible. Many Nile crocodiles often lie hidden or basking along the riverbanks. That's why, when the situation becomes urgent, we're forced to switch to firearms to hunt these predators. With a reliable rifle in hand and utmost caution, we begin the hunt to eliminate these threats. But taking down a fully grown crocodile is no simple task. Their thick, armor-like skin leaves only one true weak spot: the head. If a shot lacks stopping power, the animal can lash out with terrifying aggression, becoming far more dangerous. That's why every pull of the trigger must be carefully calculated to ensure success. We patrol along the riverbank. From a short distance, I spot several targets. They appear to be basking in the sun. Everything lines up. I aim carefully and squeeze the trigger. A perfect headshot. The massive beast lies still. The rifle in my hands has once again proven itself powerful enough to pierce even crocodile hide that feels like steel. Do you see that? Just beneath the swamp's surface, a pair of sharp eyes peek out, silently watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I stay cautious, keeping a safe distance. Slowly, I adjust the scope, steady my aim, and fire. The shot rings out clean and decisive. The crocodile lies still, motionless. As we approach, a chill runs down our spines. Carefully, we pull the massive creature from the water and take a moment to appreciate the reward of the hunt. It's a large one, and its power, when alive, was certainly nothing to underestimate. Hidden behind the bushes, we continued our ambush. Lying still on the riverbank like a massive stone was another Nile crocodile, enormous and unmoving. This was the most critical moment, demanding absolute caution. One wrong step, a loud noise, or a missed shot could turn the hunter into prey. I stayed patient, waited for the perfect moment, then pulled the trigger. Once again, I aimed for the head, the weakest spot. Perfect. It dropped instantly. Hunting giant Nile crocodiles is no easy task. Danger can strike at any moment. But this mission is necessary to reduce the threat they pose to local communities.
Shoot him again. Shoot him again. On the shoulder. Shoot him again.
Do you think only large animals can destroy ecosystems or damage agriculture? If so, then you've probably never heard of the devastating impact of gray squirrels in the United Kingdom, a rodent that seems harmless but is causing chaos for both farmers and native wildlife. I was lucky enough to travel to the UK and join a friend on a gray squirrel hunt. It's one of the most effective ways to control their population and reduce the harm they cause. Follow along so you don't miss the most exciting moments from this unusual hunt. There are over 2.5 million gray squirrels living in the UK, and the most alarming part is, they're not even native to the region. Introduced from North America in the 19th century, they've since taken over the habitat of the native red squirrel, a rare and protected species in Britain. But the damage doesn't stop at competition for survival. Gray squirrels also wreak havoc on forests and agricultural areas by gnawing on bark and tree trunks, weakening and killing large numbers of trees, from commercial timber plantations to fruit orchards and even windbreak rows. On top of that, gray squirrels are increasingly showing up in residential areas, gardens, and even inside homes, posing a risk of transmitting diseases to both pets and humans. Due to these serious consequences, many regions across the UK have implemented strict control measures, including legalizing the hunting and culling of grey squirrels to manage their population and protect the ecosystem, especially in forestry and agriculture. In the dense forest near home, food traps were cleverly set high on thick tree trunks to attract grey squirrels. We carefully hid inside a small blind, waiting for the first squirrel to appear. After about an hour, at last, the first grey squirrel showed up at the nearby feeder. We held our breath, waiting for the perfect moment to shoot. Wonderful! A clean shot had dropped instantly. Roughly 30 minutes later, another squirrel emerged. It cautiously scanned its surroundings before picking up a peanut to eat. Just seconds later, another sharp gunshot rang out. The grey squirrel was hit and fell straight to the ground. We moved deeper into the forest. Just minutes later, the sound of gunfire rang out non-stop. My friend had begun targeting the nests high up in the treetops, the hiding places of the grey squirrels. The squirrels fell from the trees like leaves dropping in autumn. Without hesitation, I rushed into position to support him. One shot, one kill. The thrill of the hunt was undeniable. At another feeding station, I spotted a fat, fluffy grey squirrel. These invasive outsiders are better at storing fat than red squirrels, which helps them survive winter more easily. As soon as it climbed up to the feeder and started enjoying the peanuts, I immediately fired to finish it off. It was getting close to dusk, so the grey squirrels started showing up more frequently. They kept approaching the feeder and rummaging for food. As you know, squirrels are incredibly fast and agile. Only when they're distracted by eating do I have a real chance to shoot them down. Darkness was closing in on the forest, so we had to make the most of the remaining light to take down as many grey squirrels as possible before visibility was gone. In the dim light of the dense forest, our modern scopes became invaluable tools, allowing us to take down even more targets with ease. This was the perfect time to hunt grey squirrels. Darkness gave them a false sense of safety. Only when night fully fell and visibility dropped to zero did we finally decide to head back home. For a long time, wild baboons have been a nightmare for rural communities in South Africa. They constantly invade farmland, destroy crops, attack livestock, and even pose a threat to human safety. As their intrusions grow more severe, the economic damage continues to rise. Faced with this situation, today, my fellow hunters and I have no choice but to set out on a tough mission, hunting baboons. It's the only way to help locals control the population of these highly intelligent yet extremely dangerous animals. A challenging and dramatic pursuit lies ahead. Join us on this intense journey. Unlike other types of pests, baboons don't act alone. They move in small, organized groups. Some go ahead to scout the area, others keep watch, some act as alarms, while the rest carry out the crop theft. If they sense they've been spotted, they let out a loud call to alert the whole group to retreat. These sophisticated behaviors make it extremely difficult to scare them off or trap them. Many farmers have had to give up entire harvests, unable to deal with the baboon's excessive intelligence. Electric fences, scarecrows, alarm sounds, they all become useless. The baboons learn fast and need only a few days to adapt to any method humans come up with. When soft deterrents no longer work, many farmers are forced to resort to stronger measures, controlled hunting. This is not a random or reckless act, but one that is legally allowed under South African law in certain situations, especially when these animals directly threaten people's livelihoods and safety. From early morning, we had already begun moving toward the valley to track the baboons. With a rifle in hand and equipped with modern tools like a scope and suppressor, I was fully ready for the battle ahead. Hunting baboons is not easy. You can't act rashly or shoot blindly. We needed a clear strategy: choose high ground, stay well camouflaged, and observe for hours. Even the slightest sound could alert the whole troop and cause them to vanish into the forest. Through my binoculars, I constantly scanned for the troublemakers. Finally, I spotted the first target, but it was quite far away. Taking it down from that distance wasn't easy. With a quick and firm decision, I raised my rifle and launched the attack. The accurate shot brought me my first trophy. Continuing the watch, I saw the entire troop gathered on high rocky ledges. Not long after, I spotted one at a closer range and in a favorable position. Without hesitation, I pulled the trigger. Then came the ones hiding in the treetops, on rock surfaces, and other tricky spots. My focus paid off, bringing unexpected success. To avoid being detected, we moved to a new ambush spot. After carefully camouflaging ourselves and lying in wait for hours, we finally located a new target. A baboon perched on a high rock ledge came into my sights, and I didn't hesitate. Perfect! The baboon was taken down with a single shot, tumbling off the rocky ledge. By late morning, through the treetops, I caught sight of the baboon troop on the mountain. Without delay, I had to move in and approach the target immediately before they sensed anything unusual and escaped. The whole team gave it their all, and the outcome was beyond what we had hoped for. The thrill of the moment washed away all my fatigue and made me forget the blazing midday heat. It seemed like today was a lucky and successful day. Fortune kept coming our way. Spotting two baboons standing side by side, I knew I couldn't miss the chance. I held my breath, took aim, and pulled the trigger. Luckily, the perfect shot allowed me to take down both baboons at once. We kept pushing through until late in the afternoon before finally returning to rest. With years of hunting experience, I was able to complete the objectives smoothly, putting in maximum effort to take down as many targets as possible. Controlled hunting trips like this have helped some farmers regain control of their fields. At a farm in the Mpumalanga region, after just 3 organized hunting sessions, agricultural output increased by 30%. However, hunting also sparks debate. Some conservationists worry that killing too many baboons could disrupt their complex social structure, potentially leading to more reckless behavior. Moreover, if the number of baboons taken down isn't properly controlled, it could backfire, causing an ecological imbalance. Hello everyone, and in case you didn't know, every day on my farm feels like an endless battle. The once peaceful fields have turned into a war zone as wild boars invade. No one knows exactly how many are hiding in the tree lines. We only know they're growing in number, becoming bolder, and showing no fear of human presence. Unable to stand by and watch our hard work be destroyed, my neighbors and I decided to rise up and protect our crops. So, how do we do it? Join us in the following video to find out. According to data from the Arkansas Natural Resources Commission, in 2023 alone, the damage caused by wild boars in the state was estimated at over $77 million, most of which occurred in key agricultural counties such as White, Lone Oak, Prairie, and Monroe. In response to this situation, local authorities and residents have tried everything: fences, cage traps, deterrent lights, and even sound wave broadcasts. But when all of these failed, the last and most effective solution remaining was direct and uncompromising hunting. Today's hunt began just as the sun broke over the horizon. I made my way along the narrow trail leading to the fields, where wild boar tracks were still clearly imprinted in the soil. Suddenly, the hoarse roar of a wild boar pierced the silence, signaling that the chase had begun. It was surely being cornered by the pack of hunting dogs. I quickly raised my rifle and crept toward the sound. As the bulky black figure charged past my line of sight, I pulled the trigger. A sharp, decisive gunshot rang out, and just seconds later, that heavy body lay motionless. But I didn't stop there. I remained in ambush and took down several smaller ones that followed. At that moment, I had arrived at the field. As soon as we got there, the whole group was stunned by the sight of a massive herd of wild boars just a short distance away. There was no time to hesitate. I quickly locked onto a target, trying to aim as precisely as possible. A burst of gunfire rang out, and the result, a large, hefty boar dropped to the ground, marking the dramatic start to our morning. The rest of the herd scattered in all directions, fleeing into the dense corn rows. But we didn't give up. Despite limited visibility, the whole team swept through the field, and in the end, the hunt was more successful than we had imagined. After the impressive results earlier, we shifted our hunt to a recently harvested field. Time passed slowly, filled with intense tension. Then, a wild boar appeared. The dogs immediately stormed forward like a whirlwind. In the blink of an eye, a precise shot brought it down on the spot. Cheers echoed across the field, not out of joy, but as an outburst of long-suppressed emotions caused by the immense damage these wild boars had inflicted. We wanted to dedicate all our time to protecting the cornfields just days away from harvest. So I moved around the area, checking every corner and staying ready to assist the hunting dogs whenever needed. As soon as the barking broke out, I immediately changed direction, nervously anticipating the right moment. Amid the still green sorghum patches, I spotted a wild boar weaving its way through, trying to escape. 2 shots, short, but decisive. A swift end, just like the deep resentment farmers feel toward this destructive species.
Stop!
Taking down dozens of fully grown wild boars on this trip has significantly eased the pressure on the upcoming harvest, giving the local farmers a short window to strengthen their defenses. But everyone understands one thing clearly: if we rely solely on firepower, this battle will never truly end.